Hey guys, this is a bit awkward. So, I decided to play Kenshi. Now, I've played quite a bit of Kenshi in my own personal time, and I've played as a variety of different things. Now, I had started this playthrough here as two slaves of the Holy Nation, and there was a lot of commentary in here. Unfortunately, when my NVIDIA had updated, I think it, for some reason, decided it didn't want to use my microphone. So there was that. Now all the commentary for this video is unfortunately gone. However, I've fixed the issue, and there should be commentary preceding this. Either way, a brief recap on what had happened so far is that we have Jade, and we have her companion, Kane. Now, Jade and Kane had been traveling together, and unfortunately ran into some holy paladins on a patrol. And they didn't really, take too kindly to Kane, being a hiver. And so they have imprisoned poor Jade and Kane. And it is going to be up to them to save themselves. Now, in the course of this adventure here, they did a lot of slave work. For those that might not be familiar with Kenshi, basically they are forced to mine in this big camp here, and we tried to make a few escapes and got beat for it. Yeah. But thankfully, Kenshi's the kind of game where even your losses can be victories. Getting beat up like that raises their toughness and actually makes them stronger in the long haul. And having to pick these cages actually improves their lock-picking skill anyway. The Holy Nation, for some reason, decided to shave Jade's head. Usually they reserve that for when you try to escape or when you're being a disobedient slave as a punishment, I think. But they decided to shave her head. And as you can see here, we spent a great deal of time picking locks and trying to get them out during the night. It seemed like our best course of action. Now, this is Rebirth. Rebirth is probably the biggest slave camp in the entire map of Kenshi. Again, owned by the Holy Nation. Now, one of the people we had freed decided to run downstairs preemptively, and, it was a bit premature of him, and he got beat up for it. As you can see, Rebirth is basically in the Holy Nation territory here. It is Holy Nation territory. I was reviewing the map to try to figure out which way out, because Rebirth has a lot of winding, twisty roads because of all the mountains. And I don't know about you, but I get a little tiny bit confused sometimes as to where I'm able to go and where I'm not able to go on there. And the AI sometimes gets a little weird in situations like that. Now, we had freed quite a bit of slaves, and the hope was that the slaves would act as a distraction. However, I think most of them got nabbed immediately, and it turned out that in the process of trying to free all those slaves, we had wasted so much time, the sun had already come up. Now, I tried to find an alternative to this gate, thinking maybe one of these paths over to the side might lead out. However, like I said, a lot of these windy, twisty roads, it gets a little confusing sometimes as to where you can and can't go. But it became pretty clear that we weren't able to go that way, and Jade and Kane, along with our fellow escaped slave here, we're trying to figure out if we can make it through this gate. Now, we snuck up as far as we could, but inevitably the guards saw us. Now, Kane is actually running a lot faster than Jade. However, he's the first to go down, and Jade quickly follows. Now, Jade wasn't actually unconscious, she was just playing dead. And the Holy Nation healed up Kane, but they also picked him up to bring him back to Rebirth. Now, they left Jade, which is good in that Jade could try to escape, but bad in that Jade was pretty messed up, pretty brutalized here. Kane was able to obviously be brought back to Rebirth, and Jade crawled vigorously across the apocalyptic wasteland that is Kenshi. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to have to start over or reload at this point, because the only place that I could think to send Jade was the Lone Shack. And I wasn't quite sure if she was going to make it there, but it turns out she did. Spoilers. I did a lot of explaining of some of Kenshi's mechanics in this beginning part here, for those that weren't familiar. But yeah, we made it back to this area here and started looting it, trying to get Jade some medical attention here. And the concern, of course, was that Kane is still stuck over in the cages. Now, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, because Jade's limbs had gotten so low that even though she was, patching them up, it was still going to be an issue. She wasn't going to be able to walk for a while, and she was very malnourished. Thankfully, there was food there for her to eat, so Kane is attempting to escape again, and unfortunately, his timing, just as the last time, was not very good, so he was quickly apprehended. Jade is nothing but skin and bones, really needed some food. Just looting around, trying to scrounge up whatever I could, really. I had decided to put on these ninja clothes for the stealth bonus. I figured it would be more beneficial for the time being. However, Jade is just in no shape whatsoever to go back and try to rescue Kane. If anything, Jade would just get apprehended again, and then they would both once again be slaves. So Kane is unfortunately stuck mining here, and up to this point, I have not been able to get Kane out. Now the hope is, when nighttime rolls around, that Kane is going to make another escape attempt. And I'll show the mod list probably here in the video. I have quite a few mods, and I realize there are more extensive mods, but I get a little finicky when it comes to having too many mods, Here I was making a joke about Kane kind of falling for the Shek girl there, because he's holding his chest, his heart's racing. But yeah, hopefully we're going to have a great time. Jade will be able to maybe break out Kane, or Kane will be able to break himself out, He's a pretty capable dude, I think. And we'll have to see what happens next.